In the high Andes Mountains of Peru, silent stone giants stand guard over the centuries. These are the walls of the Inca, magnificent structures that have mystified engineers and historians for over 500 years. The Inca Empire, which flourished from 1438 to 1533, was the largest in the pre-Columbian Americas, stretching from modern-day Colombia down to Chile. With their capital in the city of Cusco, they built a civilization of incredible complexity. Yet, for all their achievements, they did so without many of the tools we consider essential. They had no iron, no wheeled vehicles, and no traditional written language, instead using knotted strings called quipu for their records. The mystery only deepens when you stand before their architectural masterpieces. The walls are made of enormous stones, some weighing more than 100 tons, fitted together with a precision that really just, defies belief. There is no mortar or cement holding them in place. Instead, each massive block was uniquely carved to lock perfectly with its neighbors, like pieces of a three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle. The seams are so tight that you cannot slip a piece of paper between them. This technique, known as ashlar masonry, was executed on a scale and with a level of perfection that seems almost impossible. When you gaze upon the famous 12-angled stone in Cusco, you are not just looking at a wall, you are looking at a question that has echoed through time. How did they do it? This question becomes even more profound when you consider the tools at their disposal. Archaeologists have found bronze chisels and stone hammers, but bronze is a relatively soft metal, far softer than the hard andesite and granite rocks the Incas were shaping. Modern experiments attempting to replicate their work using only these known tools have failed, producing crude and jagged cuts that are a world away from the smooth, almost polished surfaces of the original stones. The sheer scale of the labor, combined with the impossible precision, forces us to reconsider what we know about this ancient culture and the knowledge they possessed. Part of the Inca story is woven into their myths and legends. One origin story tells of 4 brothers and sisters who emerged from a sacred cave. One of them, Ayar Manco, carried a golden staff. He was told to build a city at the spot where the staff would sink effortlessly into the earth. This place became Cusco, the sacred center of their universe. Other oral traditions, later recorded by the Spanish, speak of enigmatic teachers who brought advanced knowledge of engineering and astronomy to the Andes before vanishing. These stories add a layer of wonder to the physical evidence, suggesting that the Incas themselves may have seen their extraordinary skills as a gift from a higher power or a forgotten age. The genius of Inca architecture goes far beyond just fitting stones together neatly. Their walls were built to last in a land that is frequently shaken by powerful earthquakes. For centuries, people wondered why colonial Spanish buildings, often constructed right on top of Inca foundations, would crumble during a tremor while the ancient stone bases remained perfectly intact. A devastating earthquake in Cusco in 1950 provided a dramatic answer. The Spanish-built Santo Domingo convent was severely damaged, but the Inca Temple of the Sun, or Coricancha, upon which it was built, stood firm. The Inca walls had survived the violent shaking without a single crack. Modern scientists and engineers, using advanced computer simulations, have only recently unlocked the secret. The irregular, puzzle-like pattern of the stones was not just for show. It was a deliberate and brilliant engineering choice. During an earthquake, the walls are designed to dance. Each individual stone can move slightly in its socket, absorbing and dissipating the seismic energy without breaking. This phenomenon, now called controlled micro-movement, allows the entire wall to flex and shift with the ground's motion. Once the shaking stops, the perfectly shaped stones settle right back into their original positions, as if nothing happened. This makes the structures incredibly resilient. This earthquake-resistant design is a principle that modern engineering only formally understood in the 1970s. The Incas were centuries ahead of their time, creating flexible structures that could withstand the planet's powerful forces. Even the distinctive trapezoidal shape of their doors and windows, wider at the bottom and narrower at the top, served a critical purpose. Finite element analysis, a modern computational method, has shown that this shape is mathematically optimized to channel seismic stress away from the corners and prevent structural failure. It is a testament to an incredibly advanced understanding of physics and materials science. The practical wisdom of the Inca is now being rediscovered and applied today. In modern Peru, a country that lies within the seismically active Ring of Fire, building codes are being updated to encourage new construction projects to incorporate these ancient design principles. Architects are studying the interlocking patterns and flexible joints of Coricancha and Sacsayhuaman to create safer buildings for the 21st century. It is a remarkable turn of events where the most advanced technology of today is looking to the 500-year-old wisdom of an ancient empire for answers, proving that true genius is timeless. Unlocking the full extent of the Incas' knowledge required a tool they could never have imagined: artificial intelligence. By feeding high-resolution three-dimensional scans of the stone walls into powerful computers, researchers have made discoveries that are really, honestly, rewriting history. The AI analysis revealed that the contact points between the massive blocks match with tolerances measured in fractions of a millimeter. Achieving such accuracy across huge, multi-ton stones challenges even the capabilities of modern precision machinery. This suggests the Incas were not simply chipping away at stones with a trial-and-error approach. The process was far more sophisticated. The computer models propose that entire sections of a wall were conceived as a single unified system before a single stone was even laid. This is remarkably similar to how modern architects use computer-aided design software to plan complex structures. It implies the Inca builders had a way to pre-plan the exact shape and position of every single unique stone in a wall. How they managed to hold this complex, three-dimensional blueprint in their minds, or record it without a written language, is one of the greatest unsolved puzzles. The AI has shown us what they did, but the how remains tantalizingly out of reach. The technological marvels were not limited to construction. Many Inca sites show a profound connection to the heavens. At Machu Picchu's Temple of the Sun, a specific window was built to perfectly frame the rising sun on the winter solstice, casting a beam of light onto a sacred carved stone within. The Intihuatana stone, a mysterious pillar carved from a single piece of rock, functions as a complex sundial and astronomical calendar. It tracks the solstices and equinoxes, helping the Incas manage their agricultural cycles. These alignments are so precise that they have held true for more than 5 centuries, a stunning feat of long-term planning. Even more startling are recent discoveries suggesting that some alignments point to star positions from thousands of years before the Inca Empire even existed. To do this, the builders would have needed to account for the precession of the Earth's axis, a slow wobble that changes the apparent position of stars over millennia. This would require complex mathematical formulas and an astronomical database spanning generations, if not thousands of years. The evidence points to a level of scientific knowledge that appears suddenly in the archaeological record, without the long, slow development curve we see in other civilizations. Perhaps the most fundamental question that continues to puzzle experts is how the Incas moved the colossal stones in the first place. The quarries were often located miles away from the construction sites, across deep river valleys and up steep mountain slopes. Some of the granite blocks used at the fortress of Sacsayhuaman, overlooking Cusco, are estimated to weigh nearly 200 tons. Without draft animals, the wheel, or iron tools, how did they transport these monoliths over such challenging terrain? Physics calculations suggest that moving a single 200-ton block would require the perfectly synchronized effort of thousands of men. Yet, despite extensive archaeological surveys, there is little to no evidence for the massive labor camps that would have been required to support such a workforce. There are no remains of vast kitchens, huge sleeping quarters, or wide reinforced roads needed for such an operation. The stones themselves add another layer to the enigma. Many were carved into their final complex shapes before they were transported. This means they had to arrive at the building site flawlessly, as a single mistake during the perilous journey would have rendered the perfectly cut stone useless. It was an all-or-nothing effort that they somehow managed to repeat thousands of times. Today, as we stand in the shadow of these silent walls, we are left with more questions than answers. The Inca Empire has faded into history, but their legacy, carved in stone, continues to challenge our understanding of the past. Their walls are more than just ancient ruins. They are a testament to human ingenuity and a powerful reminder that there are still great mysteries waiting to be solved. They show us that with vision, knowledge, and an incredible connection to their environment, a civilization could achieve feats that continue to inspire awe and wonder in our modern, technology-driven world. The stones of the Inca do not give up their secrets easily. They invite us to look closer, to think deeper, and to imagine a world where the impossible was made real through sheer will and a lost form of wisdom. In their silent, steadfast presence, they teach us a lesson in humility and resilience. They have endured earthquakes, conquest, and the erosion of time itself. They stand today as a permanent monument to one of history's most brilliant and enigmatic cultures, their puzzle-like patterns echoing the enduring mystery of the minds that made them.